Today's topic is
Games Workshop watching the,
Aftermarket?
Yeah!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Waypan. I'm Cal.
And I'm Sunny.
So we've had Hivestorm for a week.
And Games Workshop has already announced another Killteam starter.
And we only had our video review of Hivestorm out today.
Yeah, which is not that far off from this announcement either, so we're gonna talk about it. In the creatively named Killteam starter set, you get
Strike Force Justinian for the Space Marines.
which comes with Captain, Eliminator, Heavy Intercessor, Assault Intercessor, and 3 Primaris Marines with bolt rifles.
Also known as Space Marine Heroes Series 1. The Acolytes of Pustus the Vile for the Nurgle Death Guard.
Plague Champion with Plasma Pistol and Plague Sword. Icon of Despair with Plague Sword. Plague Marine with Bolter. Plague Marine with Blight Grenade and Bolter. Plague Marine with Flail of Corruption. Plague Marine with Plague Spewer. And the Malignant Plague Caster.
Also known as Space Marine Heroes Series 3.
Full color MDF terrain.
64-page introductory rulebook.
And finally, cardboard tokens.
Out soon, very soon.
Very soon.
So let's take a look at what this actually means.
With this, it's not all of Space Marine Series 1, but it is all of Series 3.
So what does this mean? Does this mean that they want to keep a certain level of rarity to Space Marine Heroes 1? Or does it mean that they just have that leftover stock?
I can't imagine people going out of their way just to get Space Marines with bolt rifles.
However, I do believe that there are a lot of people out there who would have been looking for all of the Nurgle Death Guard guys.
Yes, and these aren't exactly particularly hard to find in the sense that we've seen them in newsagents and game stores, but, you know, it's not exactly very common either.
Yes, there's a difference between accessibility and availability. So I've never seen a box like this where it is more designed for resale than I've ever seen before.
What do you mean?
So generic Space Marines and Nurgle Death Guard are two of the biggest armies out there right now, primarily because of 8th.
Oh, so you're saying lots of people will want these.
Exactly. So there's going to be a lot of people on the aftermarket looking at this and wondering, are people going to put them up for sale? They're just looking for the quick start rulebook.
This is actually really smart from GW's end because this caters to the 2 biggest armies in their community and they can get them to play Killteam through this way using models that they already have. So they're hitting those numbers in sales.
Actually, these might be models that they don't have because they're a little more rare than usual.
Yeah, so if they do want these models, it's just a plus for them as well.
But if you're somebody who doesn't play either of these armies, it makes this starter box very attractive because potentially you can just sell the models and perhaps recoup maybe 50% or more of your purchase.
Okay. And it's not too much of a gamble because these armies are popular enough that people will buy it.
But what I think Games Workshop wants to focus on the most is how much of the MDF terrain is selling in the aftermarket.
Right, okay. So this will give GW an idea of how popular the MDF terrain is in comparison to their regular terrain kits that are in plastic.
Yes, exactly. And the reason why I think this is really important is because this means that perhaps in the future, Games Workshop is going to try and sell more MDF terrain.
And just to say, this MDF terrain is actually made of wood, as you would see on their community posts. So it's really nice and sturdy. It's also in full color, so you don't have to deal with painting or anything like that.
Yeah, we've had some real troubles with painting in the past. See our video on the Gallo Dark terrain.
Nightmares everywhere.
But wood could cause trouble.
How so?
Well, when it comes to customs, for example, Australians' customs is very, very strict when it comes to organic material.
But actually, I think this may not be too much of a problem because it's probably treated
Yeah, obviously,
timber.
it's MDF, yeah.
And you've got that color on top. So it's not just pure timber, so it's okay.
I don't really think that Australia cares. I mean, they kept my green stuff from me because it was chemical clay.
It was labeled chemical clay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay, so they can be really nitpicky about things like this, and I can see where you're saying in terms of customs, this might make it a little bit inaccessible for certain people in certain countries.
But we don't know whether Games Workshop has like those sorts of connections where it won't be an issue for them.
Yeah, I would say that's a really big shame now that you point point that out because when I think about this from a gamer's perspective, this just gets a board set up and ready to go within minutes.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really liked this release. I really felt like, unfortunately, an abused lover. I'm like, you've disappointed me. And then I come back right immediately.
Yeah, and the second thing is it's easy to pack away. You can just take out the slots, flat pack it. It's great.
So we've set it up here, and I think everybody can see that we're saying, listen, this is designed for the aftermarket. It is not designed for primary sale.
What do you think GW is actually looking for here?
I think that Games Workshop wants to find out, first off, do people actually want those Space Marine Heroes sets, but not blind?
Right, and I think another thing to point out is they've also said that this set should be cheaper in comparison to other kits, Killteam sets and stuff.
Well, I don't think that Games Workshop has said that, but I do believe that a lot of other people have said it should be cheaper. But when it comes to cost, let's take a look at Hivestorm.
Yes, it wasn't exactly the cheapest box set.
In fact, when all we did was add clippers, knives, and plastic glue to the cost of it, it was the same price as a brand new Xbox.
Yeah, so you can see exactly how overpriced some of these kits can get, especially when it is popular. I can see them trying to hike the price up a bit.
Well, it is meant to be their introductory box, so we don't know one way or the other yet, but what I will say is don't hold your breath if you think it's going to be cheap. On to the second point, I think the big thing they're looking at is MDF terrain popular?
Yeah, and I think that's actually a really good thing to see because, like I said, setup is going to be easy. It's quick, easy, it's serviceable. Not many people are looking to paint terrain. Some people don't want to do it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like terrain at all. They'll paint their models begrudgingly, but they'll hate terrain.
Yeah, so even though in our experience, painting terrain can be easier than painting models.
Yeah, it can be therapeutic.
Yeah, and take a look at our Dungeons and Lasers set.
Yeah, we love doing that.
Painting that was a dream, but setup was very, very, very time consuming.
When we're doing those very big boards like we did for our game of Necromunda.
Yeah, to be fair, it was like a 2-layer one and it took us about 9 hours total to set that up. But with the MDF, this should be really quick and easy.
Actually, it was 4 layers. I hope that it's popular for the reasons that we said. Like we've said in the past, even though we're a painting channel, we try to understand other people's perspectives.
Yes, and I just want to add that I wouldn't mind getting this box set.
Oh, no.
I would just want the terrain.
No, look at the models. They're so detailed and we'll end up painting them.
Yes, of course. But we are painters. Let's talk about...
They're ridiculously detailed. Look at them.
Yes, but we will enjoy it to some level of degree.
I'm not sure we will.
But hey, I think it's great because we play Frostgrave and Stargrave, and I would like this set just for the terrain because it's easy, quick, and easy to set up, and I can use it for other games as well. And we are people who don't have that much time, and a lot of you guys are too. So if you just want to get down to it, just start playing games and make sure that the setup doesn't take up all of your energy before you actually start playing the game. I feel this is actually a really good direction from GW.
And finally, 3. I think they want to see how many people are buying just for the book, especially considering it is just an introductory book. It's not the full rule book. So I wonder how many people actually care about that book because they can't care about the tokens, right?
I don't think so. But yeah, so if they do find that the book is comprehensive enough that they can just start playing the game, because 64 pages is not too bad. And if it can get them to learn this game quickly, then I think they can move on to buy the full set. But in my opinion, if you can condense something down into 64 pages, do you really need to get another book?
Well, the question I wonder is this actually for the person who has people who they want to get into the game as well. So I think this is, as far as marketing goes, just genius. The things that they've chosen are very wise choices on their part.
Let's just say, GW, you best not ruin our expectations once again.
No, that's gonna happen. I think I was choking on something that Sunny was saying. All right, everybody, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. I think I'm the only man in the world who has this problem. Where the woman's like, oh, we could just buy one more set of Warhammer.
Normally I would say we should not, but
normally,
I
right.
would say no, but I really like the idea of the MDF terrain. And
It's the MDF terrain.
It is the MDF terrain. Well, I think the character models are
and
quite...
next set it will be the models.
Yeah, well...
And next set it'll be the rules.
No, maybe.